So here's the scenario. You own a home, you would like to sell your home because you keep hearing from friends and on the news that the seller's market is just out of this world right now. You list a home, it's gone in 24 to 48 hours, you're getting above asking price, an easy sale on your terms, but the thing that is stopping you is you've also heard that the reason this is happening is due to low inventory. There are just not enough homes to go around out there. So you're afraid that if you sell your first home, you're going to be temporarily homeless for a minute while you're trying to find your next one. And that just sounds like a sticky situation I could understand anybody would want to avoid. And I can tell you how to go ahead and make sure that doesn't happen to you. Hi, my name is Jess Ward. I'm with Century 21 Town and Country in Clinton Township. I'm an expert licensed realtor selling residential homes all over the Metro Detroit area. And I'd like to take a minute to give you some tips on how to avoid that sticky situation of selling your first home and not being able to find the second one. So the first, probably most common way to get around this is what's called an occupancy agreement. So it's between the buyer and the seller. They both agree that when the home sells, the original seller, the original homeowner, gets to stay in it for 30, 60, 90 days, however much time is written in there. It's usually pretty short term, and the seller has to pay a certain amount per day, way less than staying in a hotel and way less inconvenient than having to be like, Mom, can I move back in for 3 months? If there's any funds that are left over that you prepaid out of the escrow, you end up getting those back too. So for instance, if you do a 90-day agreement, they take it out of your closing costs, they hold it in escrow. When you do the key exchange, let's say you do it at day 60, you get the money for those 30 days back. It's also great because at closing, there's no extra funds that come out of pocket for you. It's all built into the numbers at closing, so you're not scrambling around like, oh no, I gotta pay this new buyer. The second option is called a rent back. This isn't as common as an occupancy agreement, but it is possible. Sometimes you get a buyer that is not in a hurry. Maybe they have a lease someplace and they're waiting for their lease on their apartment to be up in 6, 7, 8 months, whenever. Maybe they jumped the gun a little early, and maybe your house is just perfect for them, so they're willing to wait. A rent back is like an occupancy agreement. Two big differences. It tends to be a little bit more long term, so instead of like 30 to 90 days, you could do it for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. This is advantageous to you, the seller, because you then get to sit there and really search and make sure that the next home that you get is the one that you want. Absolutely no rush. The third option is called a contingency agreement. Buyers aren't always as crazy about a contingency agreement as the first two options. However, in the strong seller's market for the right home, and you get a buyer that's exhausted, they've had like 8 or 9 bids turned down on different homes, they might be willing to put up with a contingency agreement. I sold a few homes on contingency last year, so they're definitely out there, they happen. And what it means is that the sale of your home is contingent on you being able to find your next home, get it under contract, and get closing underway to a satisfactory level. Sometimes it doesn't even always have to close first. You'll be like halfway through the process, appraisal's done, everything's going well, and it'll kick off the closing for the first home. The last thing is called a bridge loan. Number 4, easiest for you as a seller. Absolutely easy peasy, seamless, smooth. Issue though is that not all lenders offer bridge loan terms. Some financial institutions do not. It is always best to check with your lender. What it is, the lender assumes that your home is marketable. You're going to use an expert licensed realtor such as myself to go ahead and put it on the market and sell it, and that you're going to end up pricing it at a price that's reasonable for the current market conditions. They will issue you a pre-approval letter, almost as if you're a brand new buyer, you've never bought a house before, and they will end up bridging one mortgage into the next one. This gives you time to shop. This gives you time to just go at your leisure, make sure you have the next house that you want, you're closed on it, you're moved in, and then you can put your first house on the market, no hassle. And the thing that's actually kind of better about it in a way, other than the fact that it's hassle-free, is your first home will be vacant. We all know that vacant homes sell faster and usually sell for higher. So it definitely works out for you as a seller. So if you've been thinking about selling and you're afraid to, don't be. Make sure that you have somebody that knows what the options are, knows how to make sure that your move is smooth and you're going to be able to get into your next house, no issues, no amount of time where you're homeless at all. And if you're looking for a realtor to help you, I would love to be able to answer any questions and help get your home on the market, get it sold. Drop me a comment, send me a DM, or even just pick up your phone, text me, call me at 586-663-6140.